Returning to Warframe after a long break can be extremely daunting. I have been through it, and pretty much every player has gone through it at least once. This game has tons of content, and it's so easy to get lost for the first time you load up in weeks, months, or even years. In this video, I aim to shed some light and guide you on your path to becoming the OP Tenno once again. This video will be divided into two parts. The first for people who are returning before reaching the Steelpath, which is Warframe's endgame per se, and then the second for people who are returning after reaching Steelpath. Some of the stuff will interlink as everyone's progression paths are very different, and some of you may have some things that are already done while others not. So I do encourage you to watch the whole video to get caught up to speed with everything, even if you think you know or remember everything. A quick disclaimer, this video is more for people who are returning after a long time and are at different points in the game. If you are watching this video and you are brand new to the game and know nothing, then please go and check out my episode 1 of my beginner series to get you started on your journey. The aim of this video is to be to the point, jot your memory a little bit so that you can remember certain things to progress. It's not for me to go in depth on everything that I've mentioned, otherwise we'll be here for hours. Let's begin with those of you who are returning before reaching Steelpath. Whether you are Master Rank 5, 9 or 10, the main goal for someone in the early game is to finish the Starchart. That is your number one priority. Completing every single node or mission on the Starchart is the most important thing to do. Unlocking all of the remaining planets and completing every node once. To unlock a new planet, you will need to head to the junctions. Junctions will have specific tasks that need to be completed in order to move on to the next planet. Once you've completed these, go into the junction, defeat the Spectre, and unlock the next planet. When you have completed all of the nodes, you'll be granted the Steelpath, which allows you to gain access to harder content in Warframe. In order for you to unlock everything, you will need to complete all of your quests. Please, this is very important no matter how far you are. Completing your main quests and side quests is highly recommended to unlock more content, Warframes, rewards, and more. You can check what quests you need to do in the Codex section in your Orbiter. This way you can see what main quests you need to do, what side quests you need to do, and what order. Please do not sell any quest items you get. This is a big noob trap. If you focus on progressing through your planets and also completing the quest, you will just naturally progress in Warframe and figure things out. Which leads me on to Warframe's open worlds, specifically Cetus, Fortuna, and the Necrolisk. You don't need to do all of them at once, do them slowly. Depending on how far you are, you can progress a little bit, get better gear, and then come back to do them. Progressing in the open worlds in Warframe is one of the most important things to do because it unlocks so many good rewards, Warframes, better gear, arcanes, and so much more. Level up the respective syndicates with the daily standing system. Warframe works with a standing system for syndicates and factions. There is a daily cap that can be increased with your mastery rank. Try your best to finish your daily standing with the respective open worlds you're focusing on. My advice is to pick one or two, then incorporate small amounts of grinding into your playtime daily or whenever you can play the game. You can build your standing via bounties or doing open world activities like mining or conservation and more. This does lead me onto syndicates. Syndicates are very important. They are the factions or the base factions per se in Warframe. Getting 2 up to max level is incredibly beneficial, allowing you to get augment mods for Warframes, which are like Warframe power-ups for certain abilities that can actually make or break certain builds. They also give tons of other rewards as well, like relic packs which give void relics. I'll go over these in a second. In the syndicates tab, you will see the normal factions or syndicates, and then you'll see the other factions through the different types of content. As you complete quests and unlock new areas, you will gain access to more syndicates. Eventually, you will need to max all of them, so it's best to get started with them as fast as possible. But again, you're going to get sick of me saying this by the end of this video. Take your time. Often people burn out by hardcore grinding syndicates all day, every day, and then they just get bored of the game. So it's a slow process. It doesn't need to be done instantly. The next thing to go for is making sure that you are in a clan. You can opt for a max rank clan or a clan that is trying to max out everything and helping them. Having a clan in Warframe is vital. This gives you access to the clan dojo. Here you have different labs that can give you blueprints for Warframes, weapons, and among many other important things in the clan dojo. It's also the main place to trade with other players. You can trade via trade chat in game, but I personally recommend you trade via the third-party website called warframe.market. Sign up, make an account, and trade through there. The prices are better regulated and it's a much easier trading experience. This website is not tied to digital extremes in any way. Make sure that you're in a clan, it's important and beneficial to you. Next is slowly building your mastery rank. In Warframe, once you have reached mastery rank 17, you will have officially unlocked everything that is locked behind a mastery rank. This is why it's incredibly important to progress with this to allow you to get more stuff. If you are completely lost of what I just said, Mastery Rank is Warframe's total profile level. In order for you to gain Mastery Rank points, you will need to unlock more Warframes, weapons, and more. Then you'll need to max rank them, which is level 30 for most things. Some are level 40 like Lich Weapons, but the majority of things will be max rank 30. This will unlock the maximum amount of Mastery Rank points for that item and will add it to your total profile level permanently. When you reach the required points, you can complete Mastery Rank tests to rank up. Do not sleep on Mastery Rank, but don't no-life it either. Do it passively as you play. It adds so many quality of life features once you reach MR17 and also after that. Always be building FORMA. If you cannot remember what FORMA is, it's a very important part of Warframe's modding system. FORMA allows you to polarize mod slots on Warframes, weapons, and more to half the capacity cost of mods, allowing you to max out your mods, make stronger builds. You can obtain FORMA via farming void relics, which we will go over in a moment, or you can buy them in the market for platinum. I recommend you just farm them and build them slowly, and if you have lots of platinum to spare, then you can buy them, but buy them in packs of 3. Other than that, just rather do it the free-to-play way. Next is Railjack. You will need to complete the Rising Tide quest to unlock the Railjack. This is important because it allows you to unlock certain things later on in the game that you're going to need it for. I also recommend you upgrade your Railjack slowly and start progressing through the intrinsics tree to gain more benefits and also mastery rank points. Plus, Railjack actually is quite a profitable farm and just is overall a different change of pace for the game, which is quite nice to do. Sorties and weekly Archon Hunts. You can unlock sorties after completing the War Within questline. These are daily missions that will net you good rewards and resets daily. You can see sorties in the navigation panel by the sortie tab. Every week, you can complete an Archon hunt with Maru, where you get a free Archon sculpture which helps you with your endo farming. Maru's Bazaar is found at Mars. You can talk to her there. If you do not know what Endo is, it's a resource used to upgrade your mods. When you upgrade your mods in Warframe, you will need lots of credits and lots of Endo. When you complete the junction to Uranus on Saturn, you gain access to a quest called Deviri Paradox. Once you've completed this quest, you will get the Deviri section in the top right in your navigation panel. In the Deviri section, you will see something called the Circuit. Now this is golden. It is golden for new and returning players. Every week, you get to select between 3 different Warframe. Complete the circuit and you will get all of the blueprints and an augment for that Warframe. This is amazing because it does allow you to skip some of those very tedious Warframe farms, and it's just very beneficial for all the rewards. Always do your circuit. I cannot stress this enough for new and returning players. Circuit is vital to do every week and keep up to date with it. It can be boring at times, but it's worth it for those annoying Warframe farms. Next is a little bit of a spoiler ahead for those who really don't want any spoilers at all, but it's progressing with your focus schools. If you want to skip past this section, I recommend you do now, but it's not a huge spoiler because you'll see it everywhere. Once you've completed the second dream quest, you will gain access to the focus school trees. You have 5 focus schools. There is a focus rework happening in the update tomorrow, so the info may change if you're watching this video months down the line, hence why I'm not going to go too in depth into it. When you gain access to these focus schools, you will need to slowly progress through them. You do this by equipping a focus lens on a Warframe or weapon for that specific focus school. As you complete missions and gain experience, it will convert a portion of that XP to focus points, allowing you to unlock more things. There are also other ways to gain focus, but this is the main way to do it now passively. I will be making a full focus guide post-update so that everything is up to date. Next, a very important thing to farm in this game, the Helminth Segment. You unlock the Helminth by being rank 3 with the Entrati family in the Necrolisk. You can purchase a blueprint from Sun. There is an MR8 requirement for the Helminth segment. The reason the Helminth is so important is because it allows you to put other Warframes abilities onto any Warframe you see fit. It's kind of like Warframe's Pack-a-Punch system for Warframes specifically, allowing you to put an ability from another Warframe onto your one so that you can change your entire kit and playstyle. In this game, it's known as subsuming abilities. Each Warframe has a specific subsume that is tied to them that can be subsumed onto other Warframes. You need to level up your Helminth segment to unlock all of its innate abilities, and you need to stack up all of your other Helminth options too. To level it up, you need to feed the Helminth resources for the different resource types. You can also feed base Warframes into the Helminth to unlock its specific subsume. Be careful though, you will lose the base Warframe entirely when you feed it to the Helminth segment. Next is Arbitrations. Arbitrations are unlocked after completing the Eris Junction. This game mode will take all of the endless mission types and add a little twist. There are little drones that will spawn and drop Vitus Essence. You can exchange Vitus Essence at the Arbiters of Hex's faction in any relay to get your galvanized mods and other important mods too. These mods are used in pretty much every build in Warframe and allow you to do a lot more damage. Very important to grind Arbitrations, plus it is a good resource and ender farm. Void Fissures. There are many ways to build up your platinum in Warframe. Platinum is the premium currency of this game. One of the main ways to gain platinum is trading prime parts for a platinum value to other players. This is where Void Relics come in. As you play missions, you will farm Void Relics, or you would have had some already, especially if you haven't played in a long time and you coming back. You may have some vaulted expensive relics, so I do recommend running those, getting the good parts and selling them for platinum to try and build up some of your platinum reserves. It's always a good idea to run a couple of Void Relics a day just to build up your platinum better. Next is Weeklies. After you complete the New War questline, you will gain access to the Veilbreaker quest. Once you've completed that, you will then be granted weekly Archon Hunts. Archon Hunts are very similar to Sorties in the sense you need to complete 3 missions and then you have a boss fight at the end, which rewards you with an Archon Shard. I will go over what Archon Shards are in a moment. Deep Archimedia and Temporal Archimedia. Once you've reached rank 5 with the caviar in the Sanctum Anatomica, which is unlocked via the Whispers in the Walls quest, you are granted Deep Archimedia. This is Warframe's weekly super hard game mode. You'll be granted juicy rewards from completing 3 different missions with different parameters, making that game mode a lot harder. Temporal Archimedia comes from completing the Hex quest and reaching level 5 with the Hex standing. Temporal Archimedia follows the exact same framework. Every week, go in, complete 3 missions to get juicy rewards. Every week, players get 5 search pulses. The search pulses are divided between both Deep Archimedia and Temporal Archimedia, plus Netrocells. Netrocells are also weekly missions that are unlocked via the Sanctum Anatomica. Each Netrocell takes 1 search pulse. This means you can decide what missions you'd like to do. You can do all 5 Netrocells every week and do no Archimedias, or you could do both Archimedias and 1 Netrocell. You will get more rewards by doing both Archimedias and 1 Netrocell. That pretty much wraps up your general weeklies in Warframe. There are a few more in the Steelpath section. Finally, let's talk Archon Shards. This ties into the Helminth segment that I explained earlier on and also the weeklies that I just mentioned. Archon Shards are an extremely important part of this game. You get the segment by completing the Veilbreaker quest. We have 6 different types of Archon Shards at the moment, each with different buffs that can be placed on any Warframe to enhance or completely change your build and gameplay. The 3 main base Archon Shards are Crimson, Amber, and Azure. To get the Violet, Emerald, and Topaz Shards, which are the other 3, you need something called the Coalescent Segment, which is also obtained via Sun in the Necrolisk. You can then combine 2 of the base ones to make the color that you're looking for. Some quickfire suggestions for you. Running the index for credit farming is very good. This is unlocked when you gain access to Neptune, which is fairly early on in the game. It's one of the best credit farms to do. The game mode is fairly simple. There are many specific guides out there on YouTube, or you could just try it out yourself and see. But again, I cannot go over all of this in depth. It's just a general overview of what you need to do. Eidolon hunting is very important for you to slowly build some amps. A slight spoiler with what I'm about to say, after completing the War Within questline, you gain access to the Operator loadout and amps. Amps are very important for later games, so slowly doing Eidolons is beneficial and slowly getting into it. This is a later worry though, not something focused on when you're early to mid Starchart. This is a no-brainer, but as you progress and build your mods, it's something that you can slowly look into. You don't have to try and do insane fast runs. You could just focus on killing the first Eidolon and then slowly build your way up. Then we have a no-brainer, but as you progress, build your mods and slowly level them up. You level your mods up with credits and endo. I have made 2 specific guides on each of these resources, so if you'd like to go and check those out, I do recommend it. Then of course, getting all your necessary mods and slowly leveling up. I'm not going to go over all of them because the list will be way too long. There's over 1,500 I think mods in this game. It's so much, but the main ones that I think you should focus on are primed mods, adaptation and rolling guard, corrupted mods, and galvanized mods. Slowly build your aura mods and all the other ones, the extras and everything as you play and progress. You probably will have a bunch already depending on how far you are in the game. If you are completely lost with the modding system, I have made a beginner's guide on modding, and my 3-part mini series on how to mod anything in Warframe will pretty much cover everything that you need to know and understand about that system. One thing I do want to talk about quickly, which does tie into the Starchart as well, but it also applies if you are in Steelpath. That is farming your Lich Weapons. Kuva weapons, Tenet weapons, and Coda weapons are all part of the Lich system. Again, I cannot go over this in detail, but this is something that is very important to slowly do so. Build some nice weapons. These weapons can reach rank 40 at max rank instead of the usual 30, which is where they are the outliers. But overall, I just wanted to remind you about the Kuva Tenet weapons. The Coda weapons are more in Steelpath or higher MR requirements. If all of this is way too overwhelming and you're so lost you don't even know where to start, then I recommend going to beginner's guides and having a look at them to kind of brush up your knowledge a bit more. And that is pretty much an overview of everything that you need to do as someone who's returning to Warframe before reaching the Steelpath. There's a lot more to do in the Starchart than in the Steelpath. Once you get to the Steelpath, a lot of the things interlink, which is what I'm going to go over in a second. Finally, this leads me onto those who are returning to this game after reaching Steelpath. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, a lot of things in farms will interlink as everyone has different progression paths. So please, if you have skipped to this section, I understand because the video is split into 2 parts, but I really recommend that you go and watch the first part so that you're fully caught up to speed on everything, unless you already have enough prior knowledge to the game. Make sure your quests are done and dusted. Across the board, no matter where you are in the game, you need to make sure that your quests are done. If you have not yet reached MR 17, I suggest you grind your MR until you get there and then slowly start building it to Legendary 1, Legendary 2, and Legendary 3. It makes a big difference, trust me, but it's not something that needs to be rushed. It's just a slow process. Plus, it goes hand in hand in you unlocking more gear and more Warframes so that you can have a better experience. Make sure all of your open worlds and syndicates are maxed out. Same thing, check in the Syndicates tab to see. If you are missing a few, then like I suggested with the Starchart players, slowly progress through them over time. When you are in Steelpath, you will gain access to Steel Essence. You can trade Steel Essence with Teshin in any relay. Head to the Syndicates tab in your Orbiter, go to the Conclave, and here you will find Teshin. Teshin will have a bunch of different rewards and cosmetics. You can get relic packs to stock up on your void relics and Kuva to roll your ribbons. To farm Steel Essence, you need to complete Steelpath missions, and an acolyte will spawn every few minutes. Kill them to gather more Steel Essence, or you can complete your daily Steelpath incursion missions, which grant 5 Steel Essence as a mission reward. Alternatively, you can run Steelpath Void Fissures to unlock a Steel Essence every time you crack a relic, plus the acolytes you run into. Although Steel Essence is something that you'll just naturally build up as you play the Steelpath game modes more. Then, Steelpath Circuit. Super important, just like the base one. It is super important for you to do the Steelpath Circuit because it will grant you 2 Incarnate weapon adapters weekly. Completing your weekly Steelpath Circuit to slowly accumulate your Incarnate weapons is a very good idea since Incarnate weapons are, well, very good. If you have no idea what Incarnate weapons are, they are adapters that can be placed on weapons to make them extremely powerful. Highly recommend you farm these. Max out your Helminth if you haven't done so already. Level 15 is the highest, make sure that you get to there, and then also feed base Warframes so you get more subsume choices for more builds, especially those that already have a primed version. And if you already have a primed version, I recommend you just feed the base one to the Helminth because you're not going to really need the base one. Then we have Elite Deep Archimedia and Elite Temporal Archimedia. Once you've completed a normal Archimedia with all of its modifiers, you gain access to the Elite version. Now, technically speaking, this is actually unlocked in the Starchart as well, but I feel that the Elite version is a tad difficult for a Starchart player unless you have all of the good gear already, all the necessary mods, but the Elite version should be done every single week to get the maximum rewards. Remember, you can also do 1 Netrocell too. This all falls part of your weeklies, which I mentioned earlier. Then we have Archon Shards. You can obtain Archon Shards via Archon Hunts, both versions of the Archimedias, Netrocells, and the 1999 calendar after unlocking the Hex. Building your Archon Shards up is beneficial and can completely change Warframes. Then of course, making sure that your Railjack is up to scratch, your Necromech is up to scratch, making sure that your Railjack intrinsics are maxed for Master Rank. Same thing with Deviri intrinsics too. Always be cooking FORMA for your builds. Very, very important. FORMA, don't forget FORMA, always. And that pretty much covers all the main things to do in Steelpath. Again, I'll say it for like the 4th time. Things interlink. A lot of people have very different progression paths, so sometimes people progress really far in the game without ever even touching something like Deviri, you know, as an example, or Railjack. So it's a good idea to go back and check everything, kind of get yourself up to speed, and then have fun with the game. You can also finish your entire Steelpath Starchart too by completing every single node. Once again, I haven't even done this yet, actually I should, but I'm just too lazy. Truly though, once you do all of your weeklies, get up to scratch with all your syndicates, standings, quests, and all the other things, the game basically transforms from a grind fest to a sandbox game, allowing you to get any weapon, any Warframe, finding cool, wacky, and unique synergies. Unfortunately, Warframe doesn't have a proper end game per se, other than weeklies and level cap. Warframe's end game is what you make of it though. For you, it could be fashion frame, it could be trying out weird and wonderful builds and enjoying them in certain mission types. Level cap runs with different loadouts to stress test your builds, and then even progressing to solo level caps for even harder content. If you do want to get into level caps, I would recommend running Void Cascade, which is by far the best game moded Warframe, by far, or Disruption, that's another good one too. Your end game could be collecting all Warframes and weapons and more, making sure that you've unlocked and max ranked all of them. Building your platinum reserves, that's also another end game. Some people love to amass a ton of platinum. Like I said, it becomes a sandbox experience, and that personally is where I find Warframe to be amazing. The ability and systems to create the weirdest and wackiest setups and enjoy them in whatever you're doing and whatever content you're doing. I hope this video was a nice jot to your memory and guides you on the right path a bit. I didn't want to drag this video out and go super in depth in every topic, because the fun of returning to a game like this is figuring things out for yourself so you still maintain somewhat of a true experience instead of being spoon-fed everything. Warframe is complex, I will admit, and there are some things that you're definitely going to have to seek help for. But the fun also comes from you figuring things out and struggling. If this video has helped you, leave a like and subscribe for more content. A massive thank you to our channel members, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Stay tuned for all of the new old piece update videos, there's going to be lots. I will see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching.